sitting on the oil cap?
The front is. The rest of it's on the dolly, so it's easy to move. This is good?
Yeah.
Or do we want to turn it a different way?
Nope, that's great.
Cool. My hands are disgusting now. I don't know if they're...
Sit. Good. You good, Stanton?
Hang on.
How slouchy am I supposed to be sitting here?
You're doing great. That's actually, it's like a pretty clean-cut little thing you got going on there.
Clean-cut little thing. What do you mean by that?
Power,
But not yet. It's not going to have the power. It's not going to have the angle when I'm done. Well, when I'm done with the first stage.
Okay,
so three-stage build to competition.
What's your name? What's your car? What engine are you putting it in?
Hi guys, my name's Nathan. And I've got an S13 240.
I hope you know.
I'm also thirsty.
That sounds
Can
fine.
you give me some coolant to drink? So what was the question again?
Yes.
I'll tell you, I'm getting real awkward looking at these cameras.
Alright. What are you building?
I'm building 240SX, putting in the VH41DE, which is out of an Infiniti Q45, the Y33 version. It's OBD2 and it makes everything harder. And they're less strong than VH45s, but the plenum is smaller so I can close the hood. Putting in a VG30 trans out of a 300ZX Z32, so that should be able to handle any power I want to throw at it, because boost may happen eventually. It's a purpose-built drift car. I'm building it to be Formula D legal, so that if I ever decide I can compete, I'm not good enough to compete. If I ever decide I can compete, I can do that with this car. It's got an 8-point cage in it. It's going to have seats and a dash, and that's all the interior it's going to have. I don't know why I'm holding this. Why am I holding? Why do I
Both of them.
this?
Both of them, yeah. I just threw it there just to...
It shows that you're a master fabricator.
Yeah. What all did you learn with welding on this?
Well,
Yes.
with welding on this, I learned a lot of things, a lot of firsts in this car. My first overhead TIG was on there. Really my first big TIG project. I got the TIG and I did stitch welding on the car, and then it was like, okay, cage time. And then started stitch welding it because one was structure, because I figured why not, I could use some extra structural support. Two was I needed to practice TIG welding. And three was I didn't have money for a cage yet, so I needed to save up for a cage. And materials for TIG welding are really cheap, and so I could stitch weld. So stitch welded most of it, all the way like from, I did the back panel and then like worked my way from the front back. Everything except like the little seat, like these and fender arches were done with the TIG. These were done with flux core because I bought my cage because they had a Black Friday sale. Black Friday sale. They had a Black Friday sale, and it was cage kit was normally $600 with $200 shipping, and that was what I was planning to pay for just the bins, and I had notched it all myself. The Black Friday sale, it was like $150 off. Did I say 600? I don't know. I paid $395 for the cage shipped because I had free shipping for Black Friday, so I got it for like half off. So I bought that, got it here, and then I was still stitch welding, so I got fed up with it. So I just flux cored the rest of it. Flux core on thin stuff is not fun either, but it's quicker than TIG when you're not as good at TIG and you're using dirty metal. So then I started putting it in the cage. That was a whole thing. I had to learn how to like fit everything up nice. I used a lot of zip ties to hold everything in, and like figure out where I wanted it, and then coat the tubes. Coping being like cutting them so they would fit together, and then get them all fitted up, jigged in where I wanted them, and then weld it. So I did overhead for the first time on this. I did some really tight space, awkward position stuff on this. I learned how to TIG weld in a mirror because I was too close to the wall, so I had to reach through the structure like in the fender and like be welding there, but I couldn't fit my head there, so a lot of just weird stuff. So when I bought the car, they were selling it as a rolling shell. It was really a complete car. They had pulled the single cam K out of it. They were going to swap in a dual cam. Complete car with the engine pulled, but I got that engine with it and a dual cam that they were going to swap in. And other than that, it was basically a completely stock 240. After like 6 months of having the car, I decided I was going to do a VH41 build, do all that stuff. Started pricing stuff out, put together an Excel sheet, because that's what I do to make sure I can afford junk. And I was like, okay, on the outside it's probably going to cost me like $7 grand-ish if I bought a bunch of stuff like new and all that. But I missed a lot of parts. But as I'm realizing now, I'm like, oh boy, I missed a lot of parts in the Excel sheet. But so right now, with the parts that I've got, so not all of them are installed on this. I'm in it for, as of today, $3,500 with buying a complete parts car for the engine, and I've got coilovers, all the rear suspension stuff, seats, battery stuff, got some of the wiring. I've got a shift knob. So there's a lot of stuff I'm making myself on this build. First big thing was I had to make an adapter plate to bolt the transmission to the engine. So I made an adapter plate in my garage from scratch, yet to be determined if that works, but I used a dial indicator, made sure everything's concentric, so it should work. It's within manufacturer specs for all of the tolerances that I can measure. And then all the mounts, made solid mounts for transmount thing. Yeah, so I positioned the engine. Positioned this in the engine bay, had the transmission, which is in pieces over there, had that transmission mounted to it with the adapter plate, which is also over there. Figured out where I wanted it. It's like 1/8 of an inch off the cross member. It's really close, but I'm using solid mounts, so it shouldn't matter. Cut little cardboard templates and then cut plates and bolted this one to the cross member. And yeah, Jake fabricated it all himself because he is a master fabricator. Made all the plates, threw it in there, tacked it. Jake held one of them for me while I tacked it. It was great. And then welded all this. Same on the other side. And once that was positioned, I got the stock cross member to see if it would fit. It was really close. I had to cut a slot here and like smack it in a little bit. You can kind of see where I welded this together. Had to smack this in so that it wouldn't hit the transmission. And then got a piece of angle iron and cut it all up and made it pretty. And bolted this part to the transmission, this part to the, not bolted, but sitting there, tacked it, welded it all around. Welded it on top in here with nice colors because I haven't cleaned it yet. And that's how the engine's mounted. And I gotta get a drive shaft made because I can't do that myself.
What do you mean, cardboard isn't good enough for that, Nathan?
So yeah, first drift car, first drift car, co-bought a Mark III Toyota Supra, and that was good, except it was at his house, not mine, so I got to work on it and not drive it a whole lot. Fixed that up, painted it, sold it, or actually traded it for my S13 drift missile and a bunch of cash that I gave to Jake. So it's got a dual cam KA, it's an 89, so they swapped it to dual cam. Did that really badly. It's really sketchy actually, but it all runs and works. So I bought that, wrecked it a few times at drift events and whatnot. It had a Sylvia front that I've destroyed because I'm a terrible person.
Down, and if you see my reflection in the snow.
But it's got a tube front and pop-ups on it now, and it's sketchy, but it has not let me down yet. Knock on wood. I'm bringing a clutch to the next event because I think that's going. So yeah, this is the drift missile. This is Daphne. Basically, the first thing I did to it was the performance exhaust you see here, with the flap for extra torque, you know, and to keep the rain out. The exhaust was cut off right before the front axle. Sounded bad. There were tons of exhaust leaks. There's still exhaust leaks. Gutted the back of the interior, put in bucket seat and a really, really high quality Momo steering wheel that definitely wasn't $20 on eBay. And then the front end was a Sil80 front, or Sylvia front. I was driving home, actually that's a fun story. I was driving it home the night I bought it, and he didn't tell me this, but the hood was held down with one zip tie. So I hit a bump and it flew up and it tacoed the hood, blew out the sunroof. So this is the back window from the MR2. I replaced the top at one point, so I had an extra back window. So yeah, like I said, the whole front end's crooked. Starting about here, you can pull it out. So the hood hinges wouldn't fit, so it's just got 3 hood pins. We're gonna go back on top of the roof. You don't have to move that.
Hey man.
So yeah, the hood just does this.
Nice.
Like I said, had the Sylvia front. I had a light bar on it because I destroyed the Sylvia headlights because I'm a smart guy. And then I got a massive ticket for the light bar. So me and Jake one night put on these nifty, really solid pop-ups, which are also very much not at the same height and not lined up with the hood, because I told Jake to hold them in semi-sort of place, and
then
I
walked
welded them
away
on.
for 15 minutes to try and find tools and stuff to
This
weld.
is true. I tend to put tools down and not be able to find them. But yeah, this is her. She's been solid so far. Burns a lot of oil. The cam caps are in the wrong place. I didn't do that, but I found out that was the case. There's a lot of things wrong with this engine. I don't know how it runs. Yeah, so I forgot to mention the full suspension deal. Really, really high performance coilovers.
The best you can buy.
Max speeding rods brand coilovers. And that's not max speeding, it's MAXPEEEDING. I think I spelled that right.
Max speeding.
Max speeding. They are $180 a set. $180 a set.
Quality.
And they actually ride surprisingly well for that.
So what do we have to do now? We have tube front.
Total? What else is left? So, big things that are left. Tube front, gotta do that. Wiring.
Oh boy.
I bought switches for the switch panel. So wiring coming soon.
We're making progress.
Yeah, I spent money. Exhaust. I gotta make an exhaust to like fit to the headers. I'm making cheap material mid pipes from the headers to a Y pipe, which is gonna be stainless, which will bolt to an S13 catback because I want to be able to just bolt up any exhaust I buy on eBay for very cheap. Unless I'm selling this, in which case it was the best, most expensive exhaust I could possibly buy on eBay. But yeah, because I'm going to probably make my own headers at some point, and those will be stainless. So I'm making cheap little mid pipes so that I can throw those away when I decide I want to make headers. Got to get all that sorted, and I've got to run fuel lines because stock fuel line routing comes up the firewall, right about here. Like, so that's probably, you know,
Not the best.
fine if you have your fuel line right next to your exhaust. So I'm going to run that on the outside of the frame rail and up through the fender well, so it comes in like more on this area. I got to mount the seats, gotta mount the battery box, got to weld the diff, do the subframe bushings, 5 lug swap, and e-brake stuff, because I got to get the stock Q45 e-brake working, because I smashed my finger and I got mad and I threw pieces into the woods because I didn't think I was going to need them,
Now here we are.
but it turns out I needed them. And then paint. Mad skids. I'll just probably mount the harnesses and get a steering wheel and quick release.
Wish.
No. Wish is a bad website. Do not buy things.
Shh, don't let him lie to you.
Don't buy things on Wish. It's the same price as eBay plus shipping. Just don't do it. It's dumb. You bought your steering wheel. You bought the steering wheel that's in the drift car for $40. I bought the same one on eBay for $20.
Actually, I didn't buy that steering wheel. Abby bought it. So.
Well, your dumb ex-girlfriend bought you a steering wheel for twice what I paid for mine for the same steering wheel. Don't buy on
Did
Wish.
yours come black and then fade to gold?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I like it.
Austin is gonna buy an S14,
Awesome.
ruin his life, and then join the club. Funniest thing I've ever
I
recorded.
might be able to use these for the.
I said I need a breaker bar.
I know that. And I also need more ratchet. Okay.
Say something?
Something.
That sounds good.
Cooperation.
Yeah.
Ow. I need you to shut up. All right, bud.
Thick.